of your hats as we honor America, the playing of our national anthem.
Stars and Stripes saluted above the state flag of Arizona as the sun sets in the Sonoran Desert. Hi everyone, welcome to MLS Soccer's coverage of the 2014 Desert Diamond Cup as we wind down the round robin day 3 games and head toward the final day of competition as the 2014 MLS preseason wraps up. Real Salt Lake, second place in the West in 2013, in action against the home side, FC Tucson. Neil Sika, Jonathan Yardley, here to have some fun, and we're glad you're aboard for this final game of the day. For FC Tucson, this will be their final game of the tournament. They will not play in Saturday's rendition. Those matchups have already been determined. We'll get to those in just a little bit, but here are the lineups. First for RSL, as you can see them adorned in white from head to toe with indigo blue, red, and yellow trim. The starting lineup features Jeff Attonella in goal. Out of South Florida, he played with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but last season came on for 5 games and 4 starts, at times in place of Nick Raimondo. The back 4, left to right, Kenny Abdoulaye Mansali will be paired with Chris Schuler and Aaron Mon in central defense. It'll be Rich Balshin, former Columbus first-round pick, is now the right back for Salt Lake. His teammate for a brief time there, Cole Grossman, is in the holding midfield role in that traditional RSL diamond. You've got John Sturzer playing one wing, Luke Mulholland the other, and attacking is the young academy player Jordan Allen for RSL. Up top, a couple more familiar names, some regulars maybe. Alvaro Saborio, the Costa Rican, steps in, closing in on 100 career MLS games played. He had 12 goals last season. And Olmes Garcia, the Colombian, with 5 goals in his league debut last year. Veteran MLS official Ricardo Salazar is ready to set us underway as the Desert Ninjas, FC Tucson, the home club, in all red, as Salt Lake will kick off with Grossman distributing to Mansali. Michael Dorigo in goal for the home team, and he impressed. He trained with New England. They really like him throughout the week. He's in goal. He started the first game in their 1-1 tie with Chivas USA. The back 4 is Andres Acosta, the Colombian, along with Greg Carter out of Gonzaga, Kareem Smith, the stalwart second-year player here with FC Tucson, but he's been all over the board. Faroe Islands, Puerto Rico, as this is pumped back to Attonella. Gets the shot here tonight. Raimondo had the workload on Saturday in the 1-0 loss for RSL to Colorado. Peter Kelly is the right back, rounding out this FC Tucson lineup under the direction of Rick Shantz, Nick Hamer, Elijah Galbraith-Knapp, Edgar Reyna in the midfields. You got Jason Romero and Dan Antwick up top, and Josh Phillips, who played in central defense. He's a teammate of Greg Carter at Gonzaga.
I'd say 3 Gonzaga players in that lineup.
With Hamer. And of course, if you are unfamiliar, PDL side FC Tucson, their season doesn't begin for another few months as Antwick, a veteran from coast to coast in leagues indoor and out, will stretch this toward the top of the area. Balshin will get back to defend. Acosta, he was playing up in the midfield on Saturday in the 2-0 loss to Chicago, who has advanced to take on Los Futuros de Chivas.
Sí.
There we go.
Excelente.
That is on Saturday night. The other matchups have been set as well. FC Tucson won't play. They're a couple months away from their PDL season. But keep in mind, these are amateurs, not any underpaid contract. A lot of kids who have played with the club in the summers after their college seasons run out, and even after in some cases. But the hope is to become a USL Pro club in due time. Mulholland didn't see the anticipatory run of Peter Kelly, and it's a good one. Lays it off. Here's Hamer to the front. And it's cleared away as you see that fever pitch from the crowd here at the North Stadium, Keno Sports Complex. 3 minutes in. Neil and John with you on a gorgeous night, 73 degrees at kickoff for round 3, the final game of the day. On the lob in. In that center of the park, you got Mon, the former Toronto FC player out of Notre Dame. And Schuler, who really had a fantastic playoff run for Salt Lake, scoring a couple of goals.
Well, Neil, Tucson already in its young history has a lot of experience playing MLS teams, not just in the preseason, but in its Open Cup run last year. And they may sit deep at times, but they've got a history of doing not too shabby against those professional clubs as well. Beat 2 pro teams in the Open Cup last year before losing to Houston in the 3rd round.
Well, their coach, Rick Shantz, was a left back by trade. He's coached youth all over the board. He was up in Portland for a while, coaching Portland FC, the women, their U18 club. Tucson Amigos he played with. He's from Yuma, Arizona. And having a blast as this club will enter its 3rd PDL season. John giving you their accolades in the Open Cup, the run they had last year. Made the playoffs in their 1st season of the PDL. They were 9-3-4 as Salazar calls the foul.
Yeah, we've got a mix of collegiate and tryout players. A few more collegiate here with the Gonzaga guys coming in, and Eli Galbraith-Knapp out of San Diego. These are guys who have played with FC Tucson in the summer while they were collegiate players. That's what a lot of PDL rosters are made up of. Now they're done with their college careers, looking for some pro exposure, and this is one way to get it.
4th year of the tournament, 2nd time though FC Tucson has participated. They were in the inaugural one. Costa, intriguing. Antonella gobbles it up. It's mostly a reserve unit for Salt Lake, so don't expect many of the regulars. They're resting. Got Sabarillo out there, and the Galloping Gazelle, that speedster out of Colombia, Garcia, blocked that down. You see Jordan Allen. Good look at him for the first time in this Desert Diamond Cup. Development Academy Player of the Year of the 11-12 season. RSL Arizona Academy, as they've got a foothold here into the Grand Canyon State, only 18.
Signed after his freshman season at the University of Virginia, and he's in the starting lineup because Sebastian Velasquez tweaked his hamstring. Won't expect it to be a major injury, but that was a lineup change from the initial expected go.
Handful of minutes gone. Salt Lake to build here. Mansali on the whip in for Luke Mulholland. Looks like he belongs. That's what Jeff Cassar was talking about. The Englishman, 25, who was an NASL Best 11 selection for Tampa Bay last year.
Yeah, and Real Salt Lake very proud of its domestic scouting. They say they scout the lower levels of American professional soccer in the college ranks, probably better than any other team, and they're proud to get guys from those ranks. They've done it before, and Luke Mulholland is the latest one after they just had a couple years of Yordani Alvarez, and we've seen other players come through from the lower divisions to RSL as well. Johnny Steele comes to mind.
Yep. Alvarez going back to Orlando City as they're in preparation for next season's launch into Major League Soccer.
If today's game against Columbus is any indication, it's going to be an entertaining one.
No doubt. scoreboard in just a bit.
Game after game after game today, as it should be.
12 in all is the crescendo to the end of stuff that doesn't count. Gives way to the 19th season in the league. Balshin. Mond. Salt Lake, scoreless affair with New England a week ago tonight in their first game. Lost 1-0 to their Rocky Mountain Cup rivals, the Rapids, on Saturday. He's guided away by Kareem Smith. He's really good in his career at South Florida. There's Acosta and Grossman getting down and dirty. Here's Mulholland flashing a header on the ball in from Balshin, but lost steam and is guided wide for the Dorigo goal kick.
Both these teams sitting on 1 point in the tournament standings. Chicago going to finish first after going 2-1. Did lose our afternoon game to New England. Chivas USA with 5 points. Colorado and New England both with 4. And both of these teams with 1, trying to tie that duo.
I understand, Jay, why you've got the matchups in addition to the championship for Saturday.
I do. From everything we've heard, and I won't say this is 100% final, I'd wait for FC Tucson to announce it, but from everything I've heard, Saturday's games will include the opener will be Real Salt Lake against Chivas USA. That'll be at 1 o'clock Mountain Time on Saturday. New England will play Colorado in the second game, and then the final, as Neil mentioned, will be Chicago against Los Futuros de Chivas, the U20s and U17s from Chivas Guadalajara.
Ball on the whistle away. This one's still in its infancy in minute 9. With another gorgeous sunset in the background.
It's a hard one to top.
I think preseason stuff, it's rough, right?
I think as far as backdrops go, Real Salt Lake probably does top it. That's one of the ones that can compete.
Better hope you're out there in the summer when it's
preferable for sure.
No doubt. Phillips. Another stand out with the Zags. He's back on to Smith. This is really kind of a rudimentary look at the group that FC Tucson will field. They'll still kind of, if you will, have an open tryout later on in March. Mulholland, Garcia, Smith, using some brute force to win that off to Hamer.
I'd say Kareem Smith's not going to get overpowered in any tackles, I don't think.
Grew up in the Boston area. He's got 5 caps with Trinidad and Tobago. Dorigo, a soft liner from Sabo that he makes with ease. First shot on goal coming in minute 11. Acosta kind of casually hoping to hold that in. Doesn't work against the Costa Rican international, who's hoping for a crack at a second World Cup appearance. Ticos. Allen. It's Grossman. Quick turn from the youngster. Mansali looking for Saborio. Great chest touch, and Dorigo with a fantastic kick save. Followed by Allen, a beauty of a stop again. The home fans approve.
It's a shooting gallery, and the hometown kid, Michael Dorigo from Catalina Foothills High School here in Tucson, with 2 big stops. They were more about reaction than anything else. Hit right at him. Amazing that Acosta allowed Saborio to just bring that ball down. He didn't even look at the ball. He was watching Saborio the whole time and still got faked out. And Saborio went for power over accuracy and paid the price.
Well, the Colombian will be a part of the eternal highlights had that gone in. But still a fine save by Dorigo. He's finished at San Diego after starting his collegiate career at George Mason. Allen. Garcia is cut off first by Phillips. Salt Lake will have the game's first corner kick here in the first quarter hour. Well, every day is game day with MLS Live. Watch hundreds of live and archive games on your phone, tablet, or computer with MLS Live. Visit live.mlssoccer.com for more information or to subscribe. Mulholland, Garcia, a flash, a flare behind the left boot of Saborio. And a goal kick in the end for Dorigo. He's played now with FC Tucson. He's entering his third run, but hopefully thinking that he could catch the eye of New England or USL affiliate. Who knows? The wind becomes a factor here late as the sun goes down, and it comes from behind that FC Tucson goal. Carter. Acosta. Out of the way of the challenge of Sturzer. Maryland product. Schuler off to Mansali. Here in his second year in Salt Lake. After 6 in New England. Again with his brother, Balshin. Good steer. And the IU Hoosier with Dorigo. Fantastic paw. Into the mix again. Sturzer was hanging out on the front door. But so far, the 6'3" keeper, the hometown kid, is standing tall in goal through 15 minutes.
He better hope the Revs coaching staff is still here. Someone else, they better be watching. Someone else might pick him up.
No questions asked with his fine play to begin this one.
We thought Brad Knighton was busy this afternoon with 6 saves. Michael Dorigo already has 4.
New England prevailed late in that one, 1-0 on the Rowe goal. Fine piece of work. The header was chopped down. Mond actually knocked it off of Smith. So a third corner now for Salt Lake through 15 minutes. Scoreless in our first one of the day, Chivas and Colorado. Chivas needed a victory to put pressure on Chicago, who lost for the first time in their preseason action prior to this one. Mulholland. Costa. Here's Balshin. Away from the Colombian. Running by Romero, the youngster. He's only 18. It's the Sacramento area. Allen. Grossman. Now Balshin, who was touted as one of the faster guys on the Columbus Crew in his rookie season, but then groin problems began. So did a cavalcade of injuries that have really halted his career to this point. A really good career at Indiana. Mansali. Into the channel for Garcia. Pose there. Allen with some time and space. Thought about a little 1-2. Phillips is there to deny. And it's Balshin trying to seal that. Keep it on the nose. He couldn't. Costa will throw back in for FC Tucson.
I think just watching Olmes Garcia run is worth the price of admission. Could put him in a foot race with some of the faster guys in MLS and guys that are entertaining to watch. You know, Dominic Oduro kind of leaves the ground when he runs, and Garcia It's a good boost on him.
Those long strides. There's Acosta. Cross in, Mond with Antwick striking a dart through the middle off of some bodies. Tucson claiming it was off Salt Lake, but Carlos Salazar says no. Antonella, a really nice find out of South Florida for this Salt Lake club. You talk about their domestic scouting. In a sense, made Kyle Rainish expendable.
But saying he's one they drafted and then let him go play in the minors, and then brought him back to Sandy when they felt he was ready.
Sturzer. Did you get any of that tailgate barbecue beforehand?
I did not make it over, but it sounds like it has done wonders for the voices over there.
No doubt. We'll have to live with those smells. The soccer season in the States is almost upon us. The North Stadium, Keno Sports Complex. Stadium dedicated in the fall. Just under 2,500 those stands you see hold.
Got a pair of bleachers on the near side and some standing room and individual bleachers in the end zones as well.
It's Acosta. Flying attempt by Antwick just to cut it down. There's Mansali. The break could have numbers here. Saborio into the space, well behind him.
You can imagine if they got drawn at home for an Open Cup game against a professional team or even an MLS team, this place would be rocking. It would be a pretty cool night.
Mond. Kind of in that circus in Toronto. Of course, who hasn't been going into year 8, but they feel they've made a few acquisitions that could change the fortunes.
They have a different atmosphere around them right now, yeah. I'll tell you that. This is not a high-profile, big-name foreign coach who doesn't know MLS. Ryan Nelson knows MLS. Tim Lewicki knows MLS. They're going to set the right tone.
The headline additions, but any of the others, a guy like De Rosario.
I love that D-Row is like the 5th biggest signing of the offseason. You guys have multiple MLS Cup MVP and multiple league MVP.
I think they'll be a little happier this time coming back around. That was a good looking ball from Allen that the talons of Dorigo swoop in to take it off the pounce.
I'm curious about Allen. This is a guy who I feel like I've seen reports of him lining up at every different position on the field. And so today he's in, one of the midfield 4, and it theoretically is the one closest to goal. And very interested to see how he performs. He's been lively so far, that's for sure.
Schuler whacked that off of Antwick. Hamer trying to run it down out wide. He had a great opportunity to score on Saturday and failed to finish. But he will earn the corner here.
His college coaches credited Hamer as relentless and explosive. He's really a guy with an engine who goes box to box and kind of noticeable as well for the Dread, so you can pick him out easily from the far sideline, but really a key player for Gonzaga last year and throughout his college career.
Antwick making that run to his near post. Schuler has a good cover on, so goes back to RSL.
I like this about FC Tucson. They're not going to have more of the ball, right? You know, they're playing a team that has more skill, but when they do get the ball, they don't mess around, and they try to get forward with skill. They try to get crosses in, and they're dangerous the few times they have the ball. They're able to do something with it.
Smith. Back to the man so far, the first half of play in the opening 45. Dorigo, 3 big saves.
He's holding his hip and his upper thigh after letting that one go.
Something to keep an eye on as Schuler pile drives forward. Saborio. Garcia almost timed that up beautifully. The clearance only as far as Mulholland's feet. Saborio, what a drag back, and nearly makes it 1. It just kind of fizzled past that far post. Well, Acosta going to be in the highlight reel for another reason. What a cutback by the Costa Rican.
That was a man against a boy right there.
So we get a Salt Lake corner kick. It's their 4th. This first half through 23 minutes. Sent back by Garcia. A little bit of a nod. Mond taking Carter to the byline. Slipped on through, and Saborio with a cool hand finish off that dummy over the top by Schuler. 1-0 Salt Lake in the 24th.
You nailed it exactly right. The dummy from Schuler makes this play. It froze the Tucson defense. It was a good ball in, but it's low and you can deal with it. But Schuler's presence and the way he made himself dangerous and then let it go by, leave it to a player with a better angle, made the play completely, and Saborio's not going to miss those all that often.
Well, Salt Lake has played admirably in all of their preseason games. There has been a barren cupboard of goals. Now those will come. It's still the preseason. Only 2 to this point. Just their 3rd. And Saborio in the 23rd, making it 1-0. Sturzer, that one right in the sternum from Acosta, who's
not had a good night.
And he's trying to control his equilibrium with a pace that is not suiting the young man right now at the left back role. So a free kick. Here is that goal again. See that dummy from Schuler. Where's the armband? And then Saborio just tucking it inside that near post.
You can see nobody went to congratulate Saborio. They all went to Schuler. Not that they don't like Saborio, but Schuler made the play.
Salt Lake, they've unveiled a new jersey partner this year. That's Life Vantage. You can see that adorn the front of the shirts.
Tell you, it's hard to read from a distance.
Replacing Zango from previous seasons. Schuler dribbling out of some traffic. The back pass is interesting. Romero put the pressure on. Now Phillips has some space to work with, but he just kind of heaves it into that channel on the diagonal.
Well, there's news we didn't know.
Acosta. Well, Knapp and Phillips nearly connected with each other there and gave each other that look. Hamer can't corral it. Why don't you fill us in there, John?
Yeah, I didn't want to break up the play, but No, we broke the news during the afternoon game via Vancouver Whitecaps Twitter feed that Daigo Kobayashi's rights had been acquired by New England, and we now get word, unfortunately, after the New England people have probably already discovered this, that Kobayashi has signed a new contract with MLS and with the Revolution. So Daigo Kobayashi to New England for the season. Didn't get to see him this afternoon.
He played on Saturday. Revs lost that game to Chivas 3-2. And win today. They beat Chicago for their first loss of the preseason. Sturzer. Smith. Garcia. Tap dances around him. Sabarillo. Just looking to anticipate Balshin come forward. He was slowed up just a bit. Now trying to settle back into a rhythm. Allen. Balshin did not stay on the same page. And Dorigo, a goal kick in the 28th. A little bit off the beaten path, Tucson's unique attractions beckon you to discover and explore the arts and culture scene that make it a place that's authentic and comfortable. Free yourself at visittucson.org. We have enjoyed every minute of it.
Did you go to the missile silo?
I did not. I guess
I went last year. You missed out.
Can't make that claim then.
It was not bad.
Romero did well after that tackle to keep it alive above the corner. Phillips. Grossman reads, Acosta returns. Falling over the head of Edgar Reyna. We haven't mentioned a lot. He's got that tough task of sitting in the midfield. He was in the back line on Saturday. Holland. And it's freed. Sturzer out for Balshin. Allen. Almost a third of the way through here. Third game of the day. Round robin day 3 here at the Desert Diamond Cup, the 4th edition. Neil Sika, Jonathan Yardley. 1-0 Salt Lake lead on the Sabarillo goal in the 23rd. Foul on the periphery. Salt Lake will open the season. They've got the Galaxy. That should be a good one, as it always is. They dethroned the champs, if you will, last season in the playoffs, where they finished just shy of Portland in the West with a second-place finish at 16-10-8. Mansali. It's away from Peter Kelly. Grossman. Fizzled as he tried to work the middle.
Well, I finally got enough information that I feel like I can give you the scoreboard. There's one game for which I don't have all the goal scorers because there were too many. And
it's probably the best game across the land today.
Yeah, the recap hasn't been posted where I could find it, so we'll get those to you later. But we will give you the full scoreboard shortly.
That was elevated. And then hit by Grossman. Wide of frame, but Ricardo Salazar said it was deflected, so the corner given, their 5th. There's Grossman.
This morning, Sporting Kansas City's reserves beat the Indy 11 from the NASL 4-2. Claudio Bieler with a hat trick. Mikey Lopez added the 4th for Kansas City. In the Disney Pro Soccer Classic, Toronto and Philadelphia played to a scoreless tie, and the New York Red Bulls beat Fluminense's under-23 team 1-0 on a free kick from Ruben Bover. Those are the early games today.
Mulholland strikes it flush. Mon on the run. The volley from Grossman. And the second-year man now in the Beehive State earns another corner kick here in minute 32.
In the afternoon, Charleston, South Carolina, the Seattle Sounders and Houston Dynamo played to a 1-1 tie. Brad Davis opened the scoring. Obafemi Martins tied it just before halftime. And it stayed tied all the way through. Seattle won. Houston won.
Mulholland doing all the set-piece work. Javi Morales taking a rest. That'll scuttle out. Sturzer will play back in.
In the third game of 4 in the Disney Pro Soccer Classic, that was the game people are talking about. Orlando and Columbus played to a 4-4 tie. Orlando scored first, and it was 2-1 late, and then a flurry. 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. Ethan Finley scoring the last one for Columbus in stoppage time, and it finished 4-4 between Orlando and Columbus. Columbus was already assured of playing in the tournament title game Saturday night, but they do go in unbeaten after pulling out a 4-4 tie.
Do they get Kansas City or New York? Do we know yet?
I think it depends on how the Montreal-Kansas City game goes, and that game is in progress. I don't have a score on it. I believe it's 0-0, but I can't promise that. Another game in progress is Charleston and D.C. I also haven't seen a score for that one. That's in Carolina. That's the old Coffee Pot Cup. And one game we do have a score for is Vancouver against San Jose up in the Rose City Invitational in Portland. Kenny Miller with a first-half goal to give Vancouver the lead. Both of those teams 1-0 in that tournament. Later tonight, the 2 teams in that tournament that are 0-1, the Timbers and Jamaican club Portmore United, will do battle. That's at 7:30 Pacific.
Good job. That was a busy run.
Well, we didn't get it all done, but given that I was doing it on my phone, I feel okay about it.
I'm impressed. The sequence started with Atenella slipping down at the other end. It'll be a Tucson throw, and we've got a substitution. So the youngster, Jason Romero, is going to come off here. Somewhat of a quiet night up top, and Carlos Montes will step on. Played at Santa Clara. First team All-WCC selection in 2013, his final year. Just outside of San Jose. Saborio. Good lead in from Mulholland, but the angle not good. That tree has taken a beating and continues to do so.
If you're wondering, no Opta data on this game, but we do have Yardley data, and the shot count is currently 11-2 in favor of Real Salt Lake. 5 shots on goal, forcing 4 saves from Michael Dorigo.
Well, I was a betting man. I did say we'd see some goals. We've seen one here in the first half. Almost went a full 2 games without through the first action of the day.
Which, by the way, the goal that we finally got was terrific, and it's up on the MLS website right now. I know it's up on YouTube. Just go look for Kellen Rowe Desert Diamond Cup goal or something to that effect, and you'll come across it. It's pretty legit.
A good header from Fagundes, and the Revs get the win.
Jay Heap's voice went down a few decibels afterward.
Yeah. Well, the toss in. New coaching staff across the board for Real Salt Lake. 6-year goalkeeping coach Jeff Cassard taking over for Jason Christ, who's off to the Big Apple for their 2015 beginnings. Took Miles Joseph with him as well. So in comes Paul Dalglish, and got Daryl Shore, Andy Williams, Craig Weibel.
It's one of the best staffs in terms of personalities you could ask for. Andy Williams,
that's a former Dynamo guy.
Craig Weibel, yeah. Paul Dalglish. Those are funny guys. I know that personally. I can't speak to everybody over there, but I know 2 of those 3, and I've heard enough Andy Williams stories. I know all 3 of those guys have good senses of humor. And know soccer as well, obviously.
Rounded out a very productive career, Williams, with Salt Lake. Heartwarming story of his wife's battle with cancer toward the tail end of his run at Rio Tinto. Hamer. Atenella right on it. Inside the final 10 minutes of the first half, the goal in the 23rd from Saborio.
I remember in college seeing Andy Williams play for the Metro Stars and just score an absolute screamer to the top corner against New England, and it's been pretty cool to watch his career, continue and evolve, and now to see him in the coaching ranks. Speaking of domestic scouting, that's been his responsibility in part.
Acosta running into Sturzer, and Balshin right there to ricochet that right back off the Columbia.
It is not his night. We're not trying to pick on the young man, but he's had some things go against him so far.
I think if we were all that green and thrown out against Saborio on some of those matchups in the final third.
There's no question Saborio would have scored 8 by now.
Yeah, you get out the rosary and hope for the best. So Balshin to throw in. Primarily a reserve unit here with Salt Lake. Well, Holland is impressed in preseason. He's taking the set piece work tonight. Carter comes from an athletic family. Brothers playing lacrosse in college, dad a tennis player.
I'm curious to see what kind of role Garcia has and what kind of progress he makes in his second MLS season. They've got so much talent at forward. Sandoval became so integral late in the year, and Joao Plata is another guy that I just love to watch, but Garcia can be so exciting. Saborio's going to miss time with international duty. The forward core of RSL is going to be really interesting to watch this year.
Yeah. No, they've never been shy on offensive production in the last 5 seasons.
No.
46 goals last year. That was tied for 6th.
No, weren't they second last year behind New York?
Yeah, they might have been. Balshin trying to track this.
I hate to correct you, but I'm trying to make your point that they have had good offensive success.
Costa. Can't keep that in his favor. Tired group of Tucsonans. Done a lot of defending here in the first half. 5 minutes remaining. Grossman. Acosta. And it slips on through to Attinella. Yes, you were on point, 57.
I just remember because they were leading the league and New York scored 5 on the last day, and I was at the game because I live in New York now, and remembered New York finishing first offensively by 1.
I have a solution for that. I was looking at their 2012 numbers.
Yep.
Yes.
I've found more than a few of those in my preseason notes.
Those tired eyes after you've seen 10 to 12 teams. So marching along. Salt Lake is here. They've
somewhere Jason Kreis is frowning at you.
Yeah, controlled it. Garcia.
Don't see that every day.
Mulholland. Allen. Hamer just kind of come inside here, and Antwick is fouled by Sturzer. Acosta. Reyna fed that out wide. Kelly couldn't catch up to it. And Mansali showing a little strength to fight off the challenge.
That was one where you could feel his frustration from not making the play on the offensive side of the ball, and he came back defensively, and he had a little extra forearm in the back and was going to be a little extra physical there, and winds up getting the foul called against him.
Mond. And it's Allen.
Good feet there. That first touch set him up well. It gave him options, and his defender had to back off because he knew if he dove in, Jordan Allen was going to be able to get past him, and that gave Allen time to get his head up, look around, see where the best place was to make the pass.
Schuler with the armband. Sabarillo, the goal scorer. Waning moments of the first half. Final game for FC Tucson in this Desert Diamond Cup. Jonathan with all three for you Saturday here on MLSsoccer.com.
And that's one of those things, it doesn't make or break the player, but just watching Jordan Allen, even in that last sequence, his first touch every time, it wasn't perfect, but it was right up there. And again, it doesn't make you, it doesn't mean that everything else you do is going to work, but it sets you up to give yourself options and make better plays and have time to survey the field. It really is a difference maker if it's a natural first touch.
Oh, it's Acosta coming back. And he collides into Sturzer, picks up the caution, so adds to a first half that has been tough on the young Colombian. Mulholland the free kick inside the final 2 minutes of the opening 45.
Yellow card issued in the 44th minute.
Mulholland. There's the 25-year-old from Preston. Played at Wingate. And that's a great ball. Mulholland drive, if you will, to Mond. 2-zip, Salt Lake on the 44th.
Well, they've had a lot of set-piece chances. They've had 6 corners. They've had a couple of set pieces. Mulholland's kind of been hit or miss with his delivery. That was a hit. That was right where you wanted, at the back edge of the 6. And Mond had perfect height, perfect timing to snap it. Not much that Arrigo could do. He wasn't going to come get that. It was hit too hard, and his back line was really just flat out overmatched there.
A career that's seen him best 11 NASL. He was the Rookie of the Year, USL Pro, and now making a name for himself in Major League Soccer. He was signed in January. Although it's the preseason, he has played with aplomb, and that was a great one to Mond. Scores off the set piece in the final minute of this first half. So the goal scoring total through their previous 4 games matched tonight with the 2 here in the first half. Sabarillo is fouled on that shin guard.
I love John Sturzer saying, hey, hurry, hurry, pick it up. 2-0 at halftime is not enough. That's a good attitude to have.
Well, they know they should be in full command, as they are. I'd like to have the score a little bit more flattering, perhaps. Mulholland. Oh, the redirection. It's 3. Sabarillo with the brace. And the first half ends on the Costa Rican second. And the score is more flattering. It's RSL 3, FC Tucson nothing, as Mulholland, that dipped down and hit Sabarillo for his second of the half. He has 2. Mulholland serving one up to Mond just 2 minutes prior. And it leads to this big advantage against the home club, the hosts of this Desert Diamond Cup, 3-0. So Salt Lake will head into the locker room as Tucson playing their final game of the Desert Diamond Cup. We'll come back in just a little bit. First half thoughts and the second half coming your way on MLSsoccer.com.
Score at halftime. you please direct your attention to the field for a special presentation. On the field now is CF hero Adriana Ramirez. FC Tucson is a proud partner in the fight against cystic fibrosis. Presenting Adriana with a bouquet of 65 roses, Cystic Fibrosis Foundation board chair and owner of Mayfield Forest, Greg Coleman. Thank you for helping make CF stand for Cure Found. For more information, go to tucson.cff.org. And how about one more hand for Adriana? Why don't you assist her in carrying those? Ladies and gentlemen, again, direct your attention to midfield for the Desert Diamond Cup 1v1 halftime promotion presented by Desert Diamond Casinos and Entertainment. Two lucky fans have been chosen to compete against one another. They'll spin around 7 times blindfolded, then dribble the oversized Desert Diamond Cup soccer balls toward the net. The first one to score will win a gift certificate from Desert Diamond Casinos and Entertainment. Contestants, are you ready? Get set and spin. Just south of Valencia and Nogales Highway. Desert Diamond Casino and Hotel is the fans' hotel with fan packages available for the 2014 FC Tucson Desert Diamond Cup. Just a reminder, last call for alcohol at the concession stand is at the end of this halftime period. Last call for alcohol at the concession stand is at the end of this halftime period. again turn your attention to the field where representatives of FC Tucson will be sending Carp International mini soccer balls flying into the stands. FC Tucson thanks Carp International for their support of preseason Tucson and the Desert Diamond Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, tickets to the Desert Diamond Cup Final this Saturday are on sale now. You can purchase them by going to www.fctucson.com and clicking on the Tickets tab. And the lineup is as follows. At 1 p.m., Real Salt Lake will take on Chivas USA. At 3:30, New England takes on the Colorado Rapids. And at 6 p.m., it will be the Chicago Fire against the Chivas Guadalajara reserve squad. Tucson Water works hard to make sure we all have the water we need for our future. More water for our future means water reliability for Tucson. Check out Tucson Water at tucsonaz.gov/water or like them on Facebook. Chapman Honda, Chapman Acura, Chapman Volkswagen, Porsche of Tucson, and Mercedes-Benz of Tucson are all part of the locally owned and operated Chapman Automotive Tucson. Chapman Automotive is a proud sponsor of the Desert Diamond Cup and soccer in Tucson. Visit them at ChapmanTucson.com for the best selection of new and used automobiles.
Up. Wake up, man.
Welcome back to the Keno Sports Complex, Tucson, Arizona, and the 2014 Desert Diamond Cup. Second half just underway between Real Salt Lake and FC Tucson. And as you can see, Real Salt Lake with a 3-0 lead. 2 first half goals from Alvaro Sabarillo and one as well from Aaron Mond via the header. So 3-0 Real Salt Lake leading FC Tucson as we start the second half. Jonathan Yardley and Neil Sika with you, and a chance right away for FC Tucson. Saeed Robinson straight up the gut, and it's cleared away. And we're joined now by a special guest from the local area and the local chapter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, Michelle Murphy, the Executive Director. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And FC Tucson and the CFF partnering this year, and tell me a bit about kind of that partnership and what's brought you all out tonight.
Well, we're really excited to have this opportunity to partner with FC Tucson. They're just a great member of our community, and having this tournament is so exciting. And FC Tucson has really gotten on board with us to help make CF stand for Cure Found. We're going to cure this disease, and we're going to save a lot of lives.
The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, what is kind of the general mission statement, and what can people do to get involved and to help?
Well, our goal is to cure and control cystic fibrosis and improve the lives of those living with this disease. And lots of exciting things going on the field here.
Yeah, this one cleared out for a Tucson corner as we see him get forward. And you're from Tucson, so we know which team you're rooting for.
Oh, yeah, FC Tucson. And a big fan of Michael Dorigo. I don't think he's in now, but he had a great first half.
He
good
did.
Local boy.
Catalina Foothills High School. You're right on
That's
it.
right. So we're Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, as I said, is committed to curing and controlling and improving the lives of those living with cystic fibrosis. And we'd love to have all the help we can get. You can visit us locally at tucson.cff.org or our national website, which is simply cff.org. There are so many ways to help be part of the cure.
Raising money for research, and you said that there had been some good news in the research department and helping people deal with this coming out this week.
Definitely. These are really exciting times to be a part of the CF community. We, just 2 years ago, the FDA approved the first drug that treats causes of CF. It is called Kalydeco. And just this week, the FDA approved that drug for treatment of 8 additional genetic mutations. And the progress and knowing that it's improving the lives of that many more people is just exciting and gives us great hope.
We know, unfortunately, what the public knows about the disease and what we hear is how tough it is on kids especially, and we know we had a chance to bring her to a soccer game tonight. Tell me a bit about her and kind of what you saw in her and getting to come out tonight and see FC Tucson live and in person.
Yeah, it was a really exciting evening. We work very closely with the Tucson CF Care Center, which is here at the University of Arizona Medical Center. And when we started this partnership with FC Tucson, we kind of put the call out and said, who's your greatest soccer fan? And we found Adriana Ramirez, her and her family out tonight. Adriana's 14. She's a big, avid soccer fan, and the smile on her face tonight was huge. And we just had her out at center field and midfield and presented her with a bouquet of 65 roses.
Oh, that's awesome.
Been a special night.
Excellent. We're talking with Michelle Murphy, the Executive Director of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation in Southern Arizona. And again, the website is cff.org, and donations and other ways to get involved are available there as Tucson tries to go forward. FC Tucson and Real Salt Lake here in the Desert Diamond Cup. 3-0 Real Salt Lake in the lead. And Michelle, I know you said the regular season is when a lot of this partnership will happen, so you guys have a lot of time to plan. But what kind of what does it mean to get this kind of support from the local community, not just FC Tucson, but the other partners you guys have, and how important is that in fulfilling your mission?
It's huge. Right now the research is progressing at such a rapid rate that we have a saying at CF, and that's that money buys science and science buys life. So it's crucial right now to have these local partnerships and to get the word out and help people to understand just how critical those research dollars are right now. So FC Tucson's partnership with us is wonderful. They've got such a prominent place in our community, and to help us to spread the word and for you to be here and be willing to let us have a little bit of airtime is really exciting. We're grateful.
Absolutely. No, we're grateful for the work y'all have done. Michelle Murphy, the Executive Director of CFF Southern Arizona, thank you for joining us. We hope you and Adriana enjoy the game, and we look forward to the regular season and much more.
Thank you so much.
All right. Michelle Murphy, the Executive Director of CFF Southern Arizona. And again, the website, you can go to cff.org to help and contribute to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Jonathan Yardley and Neil Sika with you from the Desert Diamond Cup in Tucson, Arizona. 3-0 Real Salt Lake leading FC Tucson as we're in the 51st minute. Again, the first half goals for RSL, 2 from Alvaro Sabarillo and 1 from Aaron Maughan. The latter 2 goals coming from Luke Mulholland free kicks. And that has Real Salt Lake in front 3-0. No changes for Real Salt Lake in this second half. Well, I beg your pardon. I did notice 1 change for RSL, and I think Neil will tell us about that shortly.
It's Ryan Neal for Rich Balshin.
There you go.
There you go, at the right back spot. And then
there are a whole host of changes elsewhere.
We have 3 for FC Tucson. Ryan Gracia played a couple years at George Mason. Has come on for Jason Phillips. Saeed Robinson, big scorer through the junior college ranks. He wears number 5. He's replaced Nick Hamer. And then Victor Rodriguez is the new goalkeeper for Michael Dorigo, who counted himself pretty well in that first half until the late 3 goals.
I felt bad. We had Michelle on when her favorite player was off the field, but he did do well, as you said. Hey, 3 changes, not too bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Mulholland driving straight up the gut, finds Allen, gets it to Mansali, and it's out of bounds off the shin of Abdullah Mansali, and it'll be a goal kick for the aforementioned Victor Rodriguez.
Well, that was great to hear. Cystic fibrosis. Restrictor on young kids, as it was even 10, 15 years ago with the medication they have. Lifespans have increased.
Yeah, that's exactly what she was saying. The life
huge.
expectancy is way up and making significant progress. And cool to see the work FC Tucson is doing. As she said, already such a big part of this community. It's only a team that's a couple years old.
Well, they've been great hosts to us.
Mulholland trying to find Mansali, and Saeed Robinson tracking back. Going to be whistled for the foul. Mulholland already has 2 assists from these situations on the day. What can he do for an encore? Drops both hands, sends it in. Headed away, he's kept alive by Sturzer. Jordan Allen is well off the target. Sturzer again, Victor Rodriguez comes out and grabs it. He's out of the University of New Mexico and Las Cruces, although he was born in Chihuahua.
You mentioned guys getting a look. He was training in RSL's camp earlier in the week. Had a standout career, an undefeated season. His junior year, 18-0-4 for the Lobos.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants at least 4 goalkeepers in preseason, if not more. And heck, the more goalkeepers you have, the fewer reps your starters have in terms of maybe dealing with a hip or a groin injury or something like that. So good to see both Dorigo and Rodriguez getting involved in MLS camps. And we know some of the field players had trials with Chivas USA last fall. And just today, FC Tucson had a player sign professional contract in USL Pro with Dayton. Gracia with an intercept for FC Tucson. Looking for some help, and coming back to win the ball for Real Salt Lake was John Sturzer.
And Dayton partnered with the Columbus Crew this past offseason.
Did you set that up?
I was thinking about it.
Neil's going to turn player agent on us. Aaron Maughan at the back for RSL. Big men have been involved in the offense today. Schuler with the dummy for the first goal. Aaron Maughan scoring the second goal. Now Grossman switches for Ryan Neal. Draft pick out of Cal. His pass was behind Jordan Allen, picked off by Gracia. That was Peter Kelly getting forward, and Saeed Robinson tumbles to the turf. It'll be a free kick to Tucson on this near side. Peter Kelly standing over the ball there as you get a look at Luke Mulholland. Eli Galbraith-Knapp to deliver this one from the right wing. Galbraith-Knapp serves it in. Good ball toward the penalty spot. It's up. It might have hit an arm, but coming out and holding it, Jeff Adanella for Real Salt Lake. That was a good ball at the edge of the 6-yard box.
Galbraith-Knapp with a good whip on that.
Undrafted free agent after, again, I think as you mentioned in the first half, first team all West Coast Conference, and he's played a couple of seasons with FC Tucson. 21 games over the last 2 years for him. Back pass broken up, and no call as Victor Rodriguez collided with Luke Mulholland. In the end, it's just going to be a goal kick. That was a chance for Luke Mulholland, who's got 2 assists on the night, to get himself in there on the scoring side of the ledger, but in the end, it's play on and a goal kick. Got a chance to check in on a couple scores at halftime. DC United leading the Charleston Battery 1-0 late the last I checked. Davey Arno scoring in the 72nd minute. We'll try and get a final on that one for you before the night is over. And we'll also see if we can get finals from Montreal, Kansas City, and Vancouver against San Jose. Abdoulaye Mansali used to be an attacking player in MLS, and RSL has converted him to an outside back with some success. Been able to contribute the last couple of years. Here's Neal getting forward on the right. Tried to cut inside, and the play was broken up. And here's Peter Kelly for FC Tucson. Driven switch there by Reyna. Acosta forward on the overlap. Sends his cross back post over everybody. Saeed Robinson tracks it down on the end line. Sends it back in. Antoniuk flying and has the goal! Dan Antoniuk, 59th minute. What a moment for FC Tucson.
Well, their first goal since the opening day. And the big man from Philly, who's been all over the country in his 12 years, went to Wheaton College, Division III All-American, and really a nice fulcrum from a 33-year-old who was last with Tampa Bay in the NASL to deliver it home.
And you could see he gave the thumbs up to Saeed Robinson. That was a heck of a ball to the back post from the Grand Canyon man. Boy, did Antoniuk attack it, came flying through, had the RSL defense on its heels waiting for the ball to come to them, and a cool moment for this crowd to get a goal. It's not going to make Jeff Cassar and his staff very happy, and a good moment for the FC Tucson crowd.
Jeff Cassar was looting in their first game, nearly gave up a set-piece goal to New England that won it, even though the game finished scoreless in the 88th minute. He talked about that as something they wanted to address. Looks like they still have some more addressing to do.
Allen turned away from Reyna, does 2 pirouettes before having his pass broken up by Kelly charging forward. Feeds Saeed Robinson again. He tried to make it 2, and Chris Schuler got a piece of the cross, and Jeff Adanella has it at his near post. Robinson had 18 goals as a senior at Grand Canyon. Speedster originally from Jamaica, and you can see they have him out wide here to try and use that speed, but you get the feeling he might find himself up top in a situation where they can commit a few more numbers forward in the regular season.
Which is where he was on Saturday.
At the back, this is Greg Carter. Robinson chests it down to Reyna. Gracia. Costa on the left, got by one man, but the ball got away from him, and Cole Grossman just blasted it into the Real Salt Lake bench area, where we do have at least one man getting ready to put on a jersey and enter the game. As you get a look back at the goal, what a header that was from Antoniuk at the back post. Here's some of the rhythm going on in the stands here. I think that goal has brought a bit of life to the place. 3-1 the score. Real Salt Lake notched all 3 in the first half. 2 right at the very end of it. FC Tucson pulling one back here early in the second half in the 58th minute. They just wanted to score under the lights, Neil. Nobody wanted to score in the daytime. It's too hot.
Well, when the lights come on, that's when the action begins, I guess. 5 goals in the night game on Saturday, 4 here tonight.
And by the time New England scored, I don't know if the lights were actually on, but the sun was setting by the time New England finally scored as well. Jordan Allen couldn't come up with that one after I spent the whole first half praising his feet. And here's Acosta on the left. Good ball up the middle for Antoniuk with 2 men on him. And he's knocked off the ball with a hard challenge by Chris Schuler. And it'll be a free kick to FC Tucson in the middle of the field. Change coming for Real Salt Lake. Luke Mulholland going to trot off with a job well done. 2 assists on the night for the English midfielder. And Dylan Mayers is going to come on. 22-year-old rookie out of Louisville and then Indiana. And he turned pro after his junior year, but did not enter the MLS draft. He didn't make the decision to turn pro until right before the draft. This one's played in back post, and Antonio can't keep it alive and took a hard fall while he's at it. Mayer's really good player when he was at Louisville. Had some injury problems at Indiana, but he likes to come out a year early. 5'9", 160 pounds, trying to find a home.
Came in the second half in the game against Colorado on Saturday.
So he's in place of Mulholland. He's playing on the left side of the RSL Diamond. On the ball right there, and is whistled for a foul. That'll be a free kick to Tucson. Mayers avoided that one becoming a corner kick. It'll be a throw into Tucson as you hear their supporters in full voice tonight. Right on cue, they stopped. Are they listening to the broadcast? They just wanted to prove me wrong here?
I was enjoying it.
Thought I was at a league game. Here's Mayers outside to Mansali. Schuler swings it right for Aaron Maund. Out of Notre Dame. We've seen a lot of Notre Dame products in this tournament.
Irish soccer alums, they can puff out their chest.
This is the year to do it, that's for sure. Join the ACC and good things happen in soccer. Another substitution coming. Olmes Garcia coming out. This in the 65th minute. And Benji Lopez coming in. Just turned 19 last week. Second Major League Soccer season out of Real Salt Lake's academy. An academy located in this state, I should point out. Primarily, they have players in Utah as well. Long ball floated here. Neal lost out on the header, and it falls to the feet of Montes. Wide for Acosta, and he gets whistled for another foul. Real Salt Lake 3, FC Tucson 1. If you're just joining us, 3 RSL goals in the first half, 2 from Alvaro Sabarillo, 1 from Aaron Mond. The latter just before halftime, both from free kicks. Both Mond's goal and Sabarillo scored in the final 2 minutes of the half. FC Tucson pulled one back in this second half. Dan Antoniuk heading in a floated cross from Saeed Robinson. Young RSL lineup, and it's getting younger every time they make a substitution, it seems like. Lining up another one at the moment. I believe it's going to be Kwame Watson-Siriboe. This one played forward for Sabarillo. Big year for him, both for club and for country. Costa Rica going back to the World Cup. And hoping to fare a little better than they have in their previous journeys. And the foul here against the big figure of Kareem Smith at the back, and Ricardo Salazar will allow the substitution. It's going to be Watson-Siriboe coming on for Chris Schuler. Watson-Siriboe in his 5th MLS season, now 27. Chris Schuler apparently content to walk off at his own pace.
There's your chanting.
I know. I like it. Neat footwork by Allen, gets to the end line, plays it across. Sabarillo and Sturzer couldn't connect, and it runs all the way out, but great footwork by Jordan Allen once again.
Well, do you have what it takes to run an MLS team? Test your skills by playing MLS Fantasy Soccer Manager. The game is fun and free to play. Visit MLSsoccer.com/fantasy to learn more.
I am looking forward to the fantasy season and the changes that come with it. I haven't quite processed them all yet. That'll be a task for next week once I'm back in New York, but I plan to be competitive once again. Straight up the middle for Lopez, gonna let it fly, and not too difficult for Victor Rodriguez in the end.
Not a bad effort, but with the numbers, he had Sabarillo peeling off there into the area with a lack of defending, sitting on a hat trick.
First save for Rodriguez in my book. Torrigo had 4 in the first half. Gracia's a cut above in the FC Tucson midfield. He's a guy with a little bit more experience, played in the Swedish lower divisions, and he's kind of more consistent with his touches. You can see it a little bit on the field. He's not a big guy, 5'7", turns 24 this year out of George Mason, as we discussed, but a nice fit for them if he doesn't latch on with a pro team, as this one forces a save out of Jeff Attinella. I can see Ryan Gracia having a good year for Tucson if he stays at this level.
Well, Edgar Reyna's been kind of quiet tonight from that midfield spot, but he uncorked a nice little whip there at Attinella.
Lopez and Sabarillo not on the same page there. Sabarillo with a look at the youngster, kind of like, really? You thought I was going to make that run? And Benji Lopez with a handout to say, my bad. One ball here for Antoniuk, the determined figure running forward, battling with Mond. And Jeff Attinella out to grab it. That pass off the mark, and Cole Grossman frustrated with it. Turns over to Tucson. Here's Gracia trying to play Saeed Robinson. Got some space down the right. 2 in the box. Plays it across. Antoniuk's shot deflected. He almost had a second one. That combination, Gracia to Robinson to Antoniuk, almost bore fruit once again.
Well, we'll get a corner out of it. You can see where the speed of Robinson is affecting Amansali, who's gone the distance here so far. His fresher legs paying dividends.
That corner not good enough at the near post, and RSL has a chance for a break here. Lopez with Sturzer and Sabarillo, and Lopez just took off for the corner and has allowed FC Tucson to get a lot of numbers back here. Does feed Mayers inside. Now Ryan Neal. Mond at the back for RSL, 72nd minute here. And again, we expect the Saturday schedule to see Real Salt Lake play Chivas USA at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. I'll have that one for you on MLSsoccer.com. The 3:30 Mountain Time game would then be Colorado against New England. And the late game, 6 o'clock local time, the Chicago Fire and the Chivas youth team. Here's a chance for Sabarillo looking for a third. It's deflected and falls to Mayers. Mansali on the left, trying to beat Robinson, who stays right with him and will let it run out for a goal kick. Great tournament, 4 match days, 4 guaranteed games for all of these teams. For most of them, a chance to play both MLS opposition and get a game against a lower level in FC Tucson, but still challenges to present and things to work on throughout the roster. And of course, I love having the home team in it. I think the Disney tournament was always so much better when Orlando City was able to get involved. Of course, now I think it'll be a regular thing with their involvement. But right here, having FC Tucson, having the element of home fans who genuinely are rooting for their team to win rather than kind of people who are in preseason mode, adds a lot of atmosphere.
Now look at that game today they played with the Crew, 4-4.
Yeah. I was there the first year they were there, and they played 3 games against MLS teams. 1 was not part of the tournament, and 2 were. And they won 2 of them. They beat Philadelphia, and they beat Toronto, and it was pretty cool.
Speaking of their partners last year in the leagues, Kansas City has taken a 3-2 lead on Montreal, with Salzizo scoring.
That would put Kansas City on target for the championship game of the tournament against Columbus. I'm going to put you on scoreboard duty in this half. Real Salt Lake 3, FC Tucson 1. Jonathan Yardley and Neil Seco with you. Neil's been bringing you the action for the entire tournament, which, believe me, is no easy feat. So hats off to him, and I'll close it out with the 3 games on Saturday. We're glad you could join us throughout the preseason on MLSsoccer.com as the offside flag goes up, and it'll be a free kick to FC Tucson at the back. And that means sites across the country, crews across the country, and from around the league. We've got league personnel working with team personnel, working with local personnel. So hats off to the crew here and to the crew at all the other venues. You get different streams and different strengths and weaknesses from all of them, but it's a lot of work in all of them. Believe me, behind the scenes, these guys put in great work. And so a hats off to them as we have a chance to say thank you here in the late going in the preseason.
Dave Evil Keeble making it happen here with this great crew.
Abner Aceves, Dan Hayek, part of that group.
It's fun to get the season started. I'm going to miss the sun, though, on a regular basis.
You and me both. Substitution coming for Real Salt Lake here. 76th minute. Cole Grossman coming out.
Replacing number 12, Cole Grossman. Number 46, Joey Dillon.
And Joey Dillon, the rookie out of Georgetown, comes on in the 76th minute again. Dillon out of Rochester, Michigan, Big East midfielder of the year last year, picked in the 3rd round, and he'll fill that holding spot which Grossman held throughout the game.
Always helps if your head coach is from a Detroit suburb like you are. You're trying to make the roster, play well, get noticed.
Talk about the same pizza joints.
Mm-hmm.
Substitution for FC Tucson. Replacing number 12, number 14,
Obed Rincon in the game. For FC Tucson, as well as Reed Schmidt, a veteran of the FC Tucson PDL seasons here. '78th minute, and Real Salt Lake hasn't threatened all that often in the second half, and it's pretty much the same group, Neil. And yes, it's preseason. Yes, it's a 3-1 win, or a lead at the moment, I should say. But I don't know that they're going to be satisfied losing the second half 1-0. They play Robinson through again. He stayed on side. Who can get in the box? Saeed Robinson, bad angle, going to take it himself and just misses the far post. His teammates asking where his help was, and there was apparently a deflection on the way. I didn't see Adanella get a touch on it, but Ricardo Salazar has given a corner.
Make these final 12 minutes very interesting if he could have tucked that one in.
His teammates were wondering where the pass was, and he said, hey, you guys weren't there yet. Corner delivered by Gracia. Back door kept alive, but nobody able to chase it down for Tucson. Beg your pardon, that was Schmidt on the corner. Here's Ryan Neal on the right for Real Salt Lake. To Sturzer. Jordan Allen, he was out training with Real Salt Lake a year ago when they were in this tournament. Didn't play in the tournament, but was training with the team. Went and played a semester at Virginia. Did well and signed with the big club in December.
Not a bad holiday gift to yourself.
It's from upstate New York, so the homegrown designation is always a little ironic in those cases, but it's a guy who came through RSL's academy system, which here in Arizona is a residency program, so you get kids from all over the country. Robinson feeds Schmidt on the right. Cut to that left foot, goes back post, and it's dealt with comfortably by Ryan Neal. Rincon tries his luck from distance and doesn't hit the target. '80th minute, Real Salt Lake with a 3-1 lead, 14-7 shot advantage, 8-2 the advantage in shots on goal in favor of RSL. And a free kick to RSL. Another sub coming. This time it's Abdullah Mansali coming off.
Real Salt Lake substitution in the 81st minute. Replacing number 29, Abdullah Mansali. From Tucson, number 14, Justin Glad.
You hear the ovation for Justin Glad from Tucson, part of the aforementioned Real Salt Lake Academy. He doesn't turn 17 until Friday, Neil, and he's stepping on the field with the full professionals. He's been working out with the team all week and gets a couple of minutes here near the end of it. Pretty special night for him and his family.
Good birthday week.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to get him anything. Jeff Cassar took care of that. Cleared by Adanella. Now the lineup for Real Salt Lake, with the exception of, well, with several exceptions, but it's starting to look like the RSL Academy game from 3 years ago. Lopez, Allen, Glad. Academy products all. Here's Sturzer. Sabarillo with a great touch to get it to Mares, trying to get a step up the middle, but it was broken up. Long ball for Saeed Robinson, and skips on the grass, runs all the way to Jeff Adanella. We do get an update via Neil's mobile device from the Carolina Challenge Cup. Charleston Battery and DC United finishing a 1-1 tie. I'm afraid I don't know the coffee pot cup rules to know who retains it or wins it in this case of a 1-1 tie, but that is the final today on day 2 of the Carolina Challenge Cup. Another one of the great preseason traditions. It goes back a little further.
DC gave up a goal on the final touch of that match.
Oh, talk about home fans having an investment. There's one example. There was a time, there was 3 or 4 years in a row, where whoever won the Carolina Challenge Cup went on to win the MLS Cup title. Or the Supporter Shield. I think it was win one or the other.
Well, a completely revamped DC side from their misery of a year ago.
Here is Justin Glad from Tucson, breaking into the box against FC Tucson. Lays it back. Sabarillo missed a wide open chance for a hat trick.
I'll get a glimpse because that does not happen too often.
Yeah, thumbs up, 16-year-old. Here's a look back.
I mean, at this point, it's easier to score than to miss. Now, Rodriguez challenges, but that was
uncharacteristic.
It was nowhere close.
No, it wasn't.
Near Phoenix.
Saeed Robinson again getting the end line, plays it across. It's deflected on the goal line and falls into the grateful arms of Adanella after Kwame Watson-Sirbo got a piece of it. That was almost an own goal.
And Sirbo did a nice job of cutting off that final lifeline.
6 minutes plus remaining, but FC Tucson's been the more dangerous team in this second half and has had a couple of chances to cut it to 1 goal. Just like to make things interesting for the home crowd.
Vancouver, Jonathan, goes on to a 2-0 win in the Rose City Invitational over San Jose.
So they're 2-0 in the tournament, and Portland will take on Portmore United now, and you'd have to bet the house on Portland after Vancouver took the Jamaicans apart 5-1 in the opener. They did have the benefit of a man advantage for the second half.
Keeper handling outside the area.
Jordan Allen running at the FC Tucson defense. Lays it off and didn't have the overlapping run he thought was coming from Ryan Neal. FC Tucson will make a change here with Edgar Reyna. One of the 2 men coming off. That'll actually be a double substitution.
And we will see Sporting Kansas City in that Disney Pro Soccer Classic final against the Columbus Crew with their 3-2 win over Montreal. That has gone final.
Placing number 17, Edgar Reyna. Number 16, Matt Farnsworth. Placing number 13, Eli Galvin-Knapp. Number 6, Gabe Silvera.
Matt Farworth and Gabe Silvera in. Eli Galbraith-Knapp and Edgar Reyna out. 86th minute for FC Tucson. If you're scoring at home, we are really impressed. That was Dillon in the middle of the field. Here's Lopez. Tackled by Kareem Smith, and it'll be a free kick to Real Salt Lake on the right wing. Silvera out of Sacramento State, coming in for FC Tucson.
Initially wanted to go to Michigan, just didn't have the academics for his solid career there.
Free kick goes back post. Sturzer almost got a head to it and got tangled up in the process, and something's wrong when the home team goalkeeper has got his arm up for the visiting attacker. I don't know with what John Sturzer collided. And he does get to his feet now.
Might have got the post.
That's what I was worried about, but I didn't know for sure, so. Good news for John Sturzer is he is up and apparently okay. I thought the flyover was supposed to be coinciding with the pregame festivities. Air Force Base in town often produces visible flyovers throughout the day. Mares trying to find some space, has a couple options, goes backward to Sturzer. I don't know, Neil. The Eastern Conference might have the advantage this year.
Think so?
I think it's possible. We don't get that many chances to find out. Teams only playing one inter-conference game a year.
Third straight year
against each opponent.
Right. Well, the trophy does rest in the East.
That's true. Both Supporters Shield, although you could make a very good argument about that there's an unfair advantage there in terms of it not being equal schedules. And of course the MLS Cup decided on penalty kicks. Back heel gets a man into the box, played across, deflected, still loose. Gracia's shot, deflected as well. Reed Schmidt for Tucson. Farnworth tried to connect there. Kelly gonna shoot from distance, and Jeff Attinella happy to have an easy one right at him.
Yeah, you really got to applaud the effort the last 45 here for the home team. Some of these kids knowing this may be their only shot for a while. They're not competing on Saturday. They're going out with aplomb and have kept RSL on their toes here in the second half.
It would have been very easy to say, oh, 3-0 down to one of the best MLS teams of the last 5 years. Not going to do much in the second half, and they've really continued to compete and stepped up their game in many ways. Carter wins the header forward. Falls to Gracia on that left foot. His shot blocked as well. And it deflects safely to the feet of Jeff Attinella. Three goals in the first half for Real Salt Lake, 2 from Alvaro Saborio, who a couple of minutes ago missed a gilt-edged chance for a hat trick. 1 from Aaron Mon. That has Real Salt Lake in control of this one and taking a comfortable 3-1 win over FC Tucson on the final night of group play in the Desert Diamond Cup. Real Salt Lake with a comfortable win, but some moments to remember in the second half for FC Tucson and its home fans. Dan Antoniuk heading in the goal in the 58th minute from a Saeed Robinson cross. For Real Salt Lake, though, the bigger takeaway, important minutes for young players. Both those from or competing in their academy, or players that were drafted out of the college ranks or just unsigned out of the college ranks and available for Real Salt Lake tonight. They needed those minutes. The first team guys will get theirs on Saturday. Any other takeaways or any standouts on the individual side from Real Salt Lake tonight? Because let's be honest, at this point in the preseason, you're evaluating individual performances and how they fit into the team.
Yeah, and I think Salt Lake's found a pretty good piece when you don't have your regular group, or maybe he fits in there down the road. You know, you were talking about Johnny Steele earlier, but I think Luke Mulholland has become a nice fit for Real Salt Lake. So I think he'll play a factor in their season going forward. He looks the part. 2 good deliveries here tonight on the Saborio goals. And then, as I was saying before, you credit the kids of FC Tucson looking for some exposure and trying to get noticed and playing hard till the end. They put on a great event out here. It's been a whale of fun through the 3 games here today, and we got some goals in the last one. Look forward to 3 to close it out with you on Saturday.
Neil Sika bringing you the action throughout the Desert Diamond Cup. You can follow him on Twitter at Neil Sika, and he'll be headed back to work the Columbus Cruise season on the radio side starting next week. And we wish you the best of luck in the cruise season. Certainly hope to run into you on the East Coast.
Yeah, for sure, Jonathan. Great working with you, and we'll see you on the MLS trail. Thanks to Dave and the staff, too, and everyone out there for watching.
With thanks to Neil Sika, with thanks to our outstanding crew, and thanks to Tucson, Arizona. The final score tonight, Real Salt Lake 3, FC Tucson 1. Thanks for joining us all day today. We'll talk to you Saturday. A reminder, Real Salt Lake will play at 1 o'clock Mountain Time Saturday against Chivas USA. We'll have it for you right here on MLSsoccer.com. Real Salt Lake 3, FC Tucson 1. Good night from the Desert Diamond Cup in Tucson.
FC Tucson thanks you for your attendance today and support of Major League Soccer in the Desert Diamond Cup. Make sure to check out FCTucson.com, where you can also buy your tickets to the finale on Saturday, again beginning at 1. Thanks again, and please drive home safely.